It's the lead-in to Gabbing with Gayle. So it's 2020. I've heard this. Apparently we're 2 months in. I'm sure all of your resolutions are in great shape. I know mine are perfect. But here's the other deal with 2020. You know, the world agreed on these sustainable development goals, the global goals. How we're going to change the world is going to look completely different by 2030. Newsflash, we're behind. Here's the opportunity of a new decade. So, looking at 2020, fair amount on deck for the One campaign. First up, vaccines. There's something called the Global Alliance for Vaccines, Gavi. It's a partnership, governments, businesses, organizations, they provide the vaccines for half of the world's children. Think about that, half of the world's children. Like the Global Fund does, every few years, it does kind of a funding round. We have to mobilize around $7.5 billion. Germany's already made an announcement. We're hoping for others to move quickly, but this is going to be a case of us, again, going government to government, saying, do the right thing, mobilizing people around something that works. And look, every kid deserves a fair shot. And that's what Gavi is about. We're focused a lot about what's happening in Africa. So let me give you some really good news, because like the big Happy New Year thing came to us from one of our African campaigns. In Senegal, our team, working with a number of partners with an extraordinary musician called Black Queen, drove a campaign that was focused on gender-based violence because rape was not considered under the law a serious criminal offense. So the campaign was all about making rape a serious crime. So they run this campaign, and on New Year's Eve day, what happened? But it was signed into law by the president. So that was a big win. Nice way to salute 2019 and go into 2020 on a roll. We're going to work on Make Niger Stronger. You remember that. That's the campaign that was Nigerians mobilizing around their government putting more investments into healthcare. Now the team's doing another round to make sure that that money goes to the right place and people all actually see it in primary healthcare centers. Another big deal in 2020, and this is like huge. The biggest play for overseas development assistance in 2020 is in Europe with the EU. $140 billion on the table as they negotiate a multi-year budget. And in that multi-year budget is what are they going to spend on development aid around the world? This is where the rubber meets the road. The people meet the politicians. So we've got these youth ambassadors all over Europe who go in and sit with the MEPs, the members of the European Parliament, make their case. They've got facts, they've got data. It's a really powerful game changer. Now they're in the final push. All of us are behind them, and it's our youth ambassadors out in front. The other thing we have coming this year is the world will be gathering in what's called Beijing Plus 25, or Generation Equality. 25 years ago, there was a really big conference in Beijing, a women's conference. That was a huge deal. All sorts of commitments were made. Progress over the last 25 years? Not so good. So this is a UN process culminating in a conference, but we hope it'll have some momentum, because just a conference isn't going to get us anywhere. So think gender, think equality, think of all the ways this translates in real life. Girls in school, women's access to finance, all those things. Bottom line, 2020 is going to be a really big year, and we need your help. And now look, we're not asking for your money, we're asking for your voice. Click here. You can find what you can do on each or any of these campaigns, but more generally, just lend your voice to the growing number of people who are saying development matters, equality matters, dignity matters, and none of us are equal until all of us are equal. Thanks.